Mariah Carey's sister wanted to sell her at age 12. Mariah Carey grew up in a dysfunctional family. Her older siblings, Morgan and Allison, were her biggest enemies. Their parents split when Mariah was 3. Mariah lived with their mother, Patricia. Allison and Morgan moved in with their dad, Alfred. There wasn't much interaction between the siblings. Mariah describes Morgan as very violent. He once hurled their mother into a wall. He knocked her out cold. Morgan was then put in a children's psychiatric center. Allison became pregnant at 15. She moved to the Philippines to marry her baby's father. 5 years later, Allison returned to Long Island. When Allison returned, she showed an interest in Mariah. She secretly got 12-year-old Mariah her own phone line. The Careys were poor, and Mariah was quickly won over. Allison was living with a new boyfriend, John. She invited her sister to their nice house. Mariah was allowed to watch as much TV as she wanted. She snacked on all the foods her mom couldn't afford. But Mariah soon learned it was manipulation. Allison started calling at all hours. She had desperate bouts of drug-induced hysteria. Once Allison drugged her sister with Valium. Mariah never found out why she did it. On another occasion, Allison offered her white crystal powder. One day Allison and John were supposed to pick Mariah up, but he came alone, carrying a gun. John took Mariah to some seedy card-playing venue. Adult men leered at her and made lewd comments. The next stop was a drive-in movie. John forced Mariah to kiss him at gunpoint. Luckily, an elderly man pulled in next to them. He stared at the older man kissing a minor. John started the car and drove Mariah home in silence. Mariah figured out Allison had sold her to John. She unplugged the phone and stalled for her. Once the sisters were having tea with their mom, their dad called, upset with his daughters about something. Mariah passed the call off to her sister. She was scared of their dad. The conversation started off funny, but Allison's face suddenly changed. She threw boiling hot tea on Mariah. Mariah suffered third-degree burns on her back. At 19, Mariah started her musical career. Tommy Mottola signed her with Columbia Records. Mariah married him when she was 23, but she felt like a prisoner in their relationship.
It felt like he was cutting off my circulation, keeping me from my friends and what little family I had.
4 years later, the couple divorced. Mariah pursued her musical career further. She tried to help Allison with her addiction. Mariah financed Allison's treatments and paid for rehabs. In return, her sister sold fake stories to tabloids. Mariah soon cut her off completely. She didn't respond when Allison revealed she was HIV positive. In 2015, Allison was hospitalized. Mariah refused to pay for her treatment. Morgan insulted her in front of the press. He accused her of spending more money on her dogs. Morgan hasn't spoken with his sister in years. In her memoir, Mariah wrote,
"For my sanity and peace of mind, my therapist encouraged me to literally rename and reframe my family. My mother became Pat to me, Morgan my ex-brother, and Allison my ex-sister. I had to stop expecting them to one day miraculously become the mommy, big brother, and big sister I fantasized about.